Hello guys, and after we heard Sascha speaking about New Year's resolution, speaking about his thoughts of becoming #1 contender yet again for the NXT Championship last week here on NXT, we now are here moments before our first match. It's women's action and it's a Rumble qualifier, the first women's qualifier this year, because Monday Night Raw we had some men qualifier matches in form of from Retribution. Despite the ingoing problems in the stable, Retribution member T-Bar advanced, winning the Battle Royale qualifier in Raw's opener this past week on Monday nights, while also there was later that night a dominating performance by both Bobby Lashley against Braun Strowman and also from Omos against Seth freaking Rollins. Both Omos and Bobby Lashley joined T-Bar in the Royal Rumble match by winning their qualifier matches as well. And well, now we have this first ever women's qualifier for this year, for 2025 Royal Rumble, which will be in 3 weeks on Sunday. And well, let's speak a bit about the history between Kacy Catanzaro and Sue Cox against the Toxic Blondes. But first I have to sip a little bit of water, much like Sascha did. And he's right, if you talk much you're getting thirsty and you need to drink some water. Always good to drink water. Stay always hydrated, otherwise you might have to drink from a toilet because you're just an NPC in Hitman. But back to the story of how it all started between Kacy and Sue Cox and Dana and Mandy. Well, it all started with a 5-star banger of about 1 month ago in NXT between Kacy and Mandy. They showed off how great they are in this over 50-minute matchup, and it was great contest back and forth going, and in the end it was Kacy victorious over a former NXT Women's Champion, nonetheless, a former 2-time NXT Women's Champion, might I add, Mandy. And later that night there was a Battle Royal, #1 contender Battle Royal for the NXT UK Women's title, and both Mandy and Kacy were in the Battle Royal, but but they couldn't win. Neither of them could win the Battle Royal. It was won by Xia Li, and also later that night it was NXT UK Women's Champion the legendary Stacy Keibler against Sue Cox, a former NXT UK Women's Champion. And well, Sue Cox was on a downward spiral at this time because she couldn't win a match, no matter what, no matter what the tactics she used, no matter how much she ambushed her opponent, it didn't matter. And well, she tried to cheat against Stacy Keibler, but then she thought about not cheating, and it cost her against Stacy because Stacy picked up the win despite some distraction from Xia Li. And well, then the same week at NXT UK it was Kacy Catanzaro against the other half of the Toxic Blondes in Dana Brooke. Well, earlier this past week Kacy defeated Mandy, and Mandy wanted revenge. Mandy wanted her teammate, her good friend Dana, to win this match, and so they did numbers game, they did shenanigans, they did dirty tactics on Kacy. They even used to see a chair on her, but it didn't matter because Kacy showed off how tough she is, how resilient she is, and beat Dana in this match despite everything the Toxic Blondes did to her. And well, later this evening on NXT UK was Sue Cox against Xia Li, and with help from Stacy Keibler, Sue Cox could get a huge much needed win over Xia Li. And well, then we had the next week on NXT there was Kacy Catanzaro against none other than the former NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon, and with help from the returning NXT Women's Champion Dakota Kai, Kacy picked up the biggest win in her career so far by pinning a former NXT Women's Champion in Ember Moon, who just recently was the last champion at this point. She was responsible even for Dakota Kai of being having to return with her and her teammates of the Demon Family of the Women's Squad, the women's part of Demon Family, injuring Dakota Kai. So it was a much needed win for Kacy, and she did. and then and it was a tough win nonetheless, because Amber showed how great she is as well in the matchup, despite Dakota Kai attacking her with a steel chair. Rightfully so though, but let's continue with the story. At this same week on NXT UK, there was Kacy facing off against Sue Cox, and after getting back and forth, and despite Mandy trying to distract Kacy, Kacy picked up another huge win against the former champion. Sue Cox, of course, former NXT UK Women's Champion. And then the following week on NXT UK, it was for the second time ever Kacy squaring off against Mandy. And don't forget, Mandy won the 5-star banger. At this point, it was 2 weeks ago on NXT. Kacy won the match, but this time, with cheating from Dana Brooke, Mandy was able to steal the win over Kacy. It was a heart-breaking loss for everybody in attendance and everyone watching at home. And after the match, Mandy wasn't, the Toxic Blonde weren't done with Kacy. A win wasn't enough. No, they want revenge for the last couple of weeks, and they tried to ambush Kacy even further, perhaps even tried to injure Kacy, but to the surprise of everybody, Sue Cox turned a new leaf and saved Kacy from the Toxic Blondes, and turned up a new leaf, turned up to the good side of the universe for the first time ever. And then the following NXT episode, at the next week, it was the Toxic Blondes attacking Kacy and Sue Cox ambushing them from behind, and it led to a one-on-one match at the NXT UK's episode the same week between Sue Cox and Dana Brooke, where Sue Cox picked up a huge win despite both of Dana and herself been on a losing streak, losing most of the matches at this time, and much needed win for Sue Cox. And where this brings us to 2 weeks ago on Sunday, to our our last pay-per-view, NXT UK Takeover World Tour. There was a tag match between Kacy and Sue Cox for the first time ever. Kacy and Sue Cox teaming up against the Toxic Blondes, and after getting back and forth for a while, it was Toxic Blondes, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke punching their beating their opponents and earning number one contender match. Earning not a number one contender match, but proving that they are dominant performance, that they are proving themselves with a unexpected win over Kacy and Sue Cox, and maybe deserving a tag team title opportunity from a woman's perspective, even though we have to share the goal with NXT UK. But right now on NXT UK, we don't know who will be on the roster. We'll find it out in a couple of days on NXT UK, but let's not speak about NXT UK. Let's speak about us, and also, is there anything more that I need to tell you about the story, about the match? We went through everything, and now let's see if Kacy can rebound from this loss 2 weeks ago on last Sunday at the Takeover event, and pick up a huge win over Dana Brooke and qualify for the Royal Rumble match in 3 weeks on Sunday. And don't forget, the winner of the Royal Rumble will main event WrestleMania, so it's would be a huge opportunity for the very inspiring, very tough, and very agile and very athletic Kacy Catanzaro. Same goes for the very tough and mean Dana Brooke. So let's see who will advance in this matchup. Of course, both have their teammates, their teammates by their side. Let's start. We need water. Sascha's right, getting is thirsty.
The Spitfire Warrior.
The Spitfire Warrior is on the way to the ring.
One fall, making her way to the ring, accompanied by Sue Cox. From Glen Ridge, New Jersey, Kacy Catanzaro.
I didn't know that Kacy is from New Jersey, but it doesn't matter where she's from, because she knows what she's all about. Her spirit, with her athletic, with her never die attitude.
Athletic feats.
Kacy will wow
she's so great inside this ring, and she has such a nice attitude. She has such a kind personality that most people, everybody, the people in the arena and the people watching at home and always like to see her put a smile on their faces, if you are a Kacy fan or not. I mean, she's so kind and so nice. You want her to be successful in her young career, and well, she's been up the rankings in the last couple of weeks, so with so many impressive wins over so many different former champions from both NXT and NXT UK from the women's perspective, as they come stand up Brooke, whose losing streak continues though, despite in the singles perspective, that is, because like I already said weeks ago, last Sunday, she and Mandy won a huge match.
From Cleveland, Ohio, Dana Brooke.
But despite the win as a tag team in the tag team match, how will Dana feel about being in singles action again? I mean, she couldn't win a singles match the last couple of weeks and months, but she won at least a tag team match alongside Mandy last 2 weeks ago, and Sunday at our last pay-per-view in NXT takeover, which was held in the United Kingdom in the home country of Sue Cox, nonetheless, because Sue Cox is British, Sue Cox is from England. So Dana and Mandy defeated Sue Cox in front of her fans and family, so we don't know how Sue Cox will feel about it. We don't know how Kacy feels about the loss, but we might find out. As a fan chanting NXT, say behind Kacy, and how can't you like Kacy? As the ref come for the bell, so now we're going at it. As huge block in there from Kacy on the incoming close and from Dana Brooke, and it completely shocked Dana. Got her off again there in the early go at the start of the match. Now look at this, the heart of Kacy pushing Dana up the top rope. Huge has a huge missile drop kick as Kacy's on fire. Look at this. But the 7 goes nowhere. What was Kacy's plan there? How she missed? I don't know, but Dana tried to get on drop, but look how quick Kacy recovered from this miss. She never doubted in her talent. And Kacy, look at this. Kacy's so quick, you can't even catch her. Which side set there from Kacy. Let's look at Kacy, full control, inverted DDT now early goes. But can Kacy keep it up? Huge kick scares Dana. It's reversal there into the district of the audience, but roll up, will it be enough to put Dana away early? 1, 2, 3 it is! Kacy wins it! Wow, what a huge win for Kacy, and wow, how unexpected, but look at this Kacy. The fastest win in NXT for quite some time, but there's some Cox and Kacy offering a handshake to a friend and teammate, and of course the Cox accepts. I don't know why they're shaking hands right now, but they're celebrating together this huge win for Kacy, the fastest win on NXT for the last couple of weeks and months, or the entire years, I don't know, but huge win, huge performance, and it only needs 3 seconds for a win and won the qualification, because now we see Kacy Catanzaro at the Royal Rumble, and Dana Brooke's losing streak continues, and in embarrassing fashion. Hopefully she isn't too harsh on herself, because yeah, everybody has a rough time sometimes, and she need to somehow come back even stronger, even though it's easier said than done. But let's see what we got in store next, guys, so stay tuned to the rest of the show.